Everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of Wilson Family Farm. And this is our second video for our decision to quarantine our family for 7 days. Today we're going to be talking about concerns we have about what's going on around the world and also here in America. Yeah, before that, let's talk about some of the topics people have already emailed or texted us about.
We have a couple people that have asked us what the point is. That there's not a lot of cases in the U.S., that they're pretty confined, so they're like, why quarantine yourselves?
Why panic? Why are you guys doing this? No need to freak out. And I want to stress that we're not freaking out. We're using this as an opportunity to be able to test ourselves on our resources. And what better time than when China is in full lockdown right now? I mean, they look like ghost cities. Nobody's out on the streets. Nobody's buying things in stores. All of those are going to have repercussions. And if it's happening over there, it possibly could be something that happens here.
Yeah, I really think they will get the coronavirus confined and contained. I hope so.
I hope so.
Yet it's a good example that what is happening there could happen here for some reason. And I would like to be prepared so that if ever there was a time that other people were doing runs on grocery stores or runs out there to get their supplies, that I wouldn't have to. I could just come home, get out of the chaos, and everything would be fine. That's my goal.
Yeah, so that we would be safe and prepared. Ultimately, that's what all of us are doing. It doesn't matter if you're investing in the stock market or going to work or whatever. You are preparing for tomorrow, for 10 years, for 20 years, and getting things done to be able to make sure that you have the highest success rate for your family and for your situation. So some of the people also commented about different ways to handle the virus.
Yes, somebody brought up colloidal silver on Facebook, and he left a couple links that we will put at the end of the video. I thought that was a good point. I've tried colloidal silver before, and it is a way. Make sure you do your research on it.
Yeah, me myself, I love baking soda, and I use baking soda in my distilled water, and what that does is it raises the pH of the blood in my body, which makes it so it's inhospitable for viruses and diseases. They like it to be much more acidic. Drinking coffee, soda pop, and other things are ways to make our blood more acidic and making it so that it's a better environment for the viruses and bacteria to thrive. Another couple had said that they would like to do it, but their jobs just made it so that they couldn't do it.
We've had a few people say that.
Yeah.
That they would like to, yet their jobs couldn't. Our job situation is so that we can do this without a huge financial hit. So that's another reason why we decided to do it now, with it being a slow season for our jobs.
Yeah, and another comment was 1 week, that's all. Apparently she lives 2 weeks at a time out of her place and only goes into town once every 2 weeks. My hat's off to you. I would love to do that as well. This was just a 1 week minimum. We'll see what happens. I mean, if it ends up getting crazy in this country, it's going to be more than 1 week.
Let's circle back to China.
Okay.
So what did you see happen in China that were positives and what were negatives?
Well, positives, obviously taking it to the level it needed to be. So they are quarantining everybody, and all across China. This coronavirus, novel coronavirus, is in all the provinces in China now. Some of them are more extreme as far as the lockdowns. There are some that they have roadblocks where people, like mounds of dirt and concrete and rocks and all that, so people physically cannot leave or enter those cities. I think that's a good thing. Also with the suits, the medical, professionals wearing complete hazmat suits from the ground all the way up to the top to, where they're sealed off. I think that's a double-edged sword, both of those, as far as not taking precautions soon enough I think that there was a problem with them letting people know that, hey, in a couple days we're going to be doing a lockdown because of this concern. That gave an opportunity for
5 million.
so talking about those numbers, 5 million people leaving before they even put the quarantine into effect. That's staggering to consider. Just a percentage of that population leaving, uh, being contaminated and going who knows where around the world. As of today, we are at 27 countries now have confirmed cases. And here in America, I've seen anywhere from 10 to 20 cases, ranging from the West Coast. The first, I believe, was in Seattle, second in Chicago, and now there's like 10 in California, Boston, Texas. So it's definitely spreading around the United States now. I think that they've got a pretty good handle on it, yet my biggest fear with this virus is the fact that it can be up to 2 weeks before a person even shows symptoms, and the entire time they can be spreading it to anybody.
Before, during, and after.
Yeah. So after they're cured, we just watched a video and they did a test on a guy. They did a mouse swab. 1 milliliter of his spit contained 800 million bacteria. And he's better. And they released him, and he's just going around public, spreading it to who knows who. One of the sites that we go to check for numbers, and again, that's another thing that's frustrating to me, is we really don't have accurate data. And how can we as rational people come to an educated conclusion if we don't have accurate numbers? This site is bnonews.com. So another impact is going to be the economy. The economy is going to be affected by this, with China being a main distributor for many goods and services for countries around the world, and they are at a standstill now. How is that going to affect us as consumers here? Our buying trends, the stock markets, the value of the dollar, and worldwide currencies.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
So I want to put out there the question of what are we watching for? Looking at China and the way they closed down their borders, I wasn't very happy, or not borders, but their quarantine. I wasn't happy with how they gave a warning time. I thought that hurt a lot of the world by them hesitating and waiting. So what are we waiting for as a family, as a community? Do we wait for the authorities, for whomever is going to close it down, to say, okay, now it is a concern, everybody stay in your homes? Do we wait for that, or what is it that we're looking for?
Yeah, and with giving them the opportunity to be able to get supplies, I think what they ended up doing is making it so that the virus spread faster and quicker. So with that in mind, if there was a clampdown, are people prepared? And ultimately, that's what we're asking ourselves in this situation. Are we prepared so that right now we can't leave? That there's armored vehicles, people with guns and all that saying you can't leave your home because it's a national emergency and stuff like that. Are you prepared for that? And that's the ultimate question. As you watching our video, we're practicing right now and we're discovering a lot of flaws in our system and how to improve. What are you guys doing? It'd be great to see comments as far as what you would like to do, seeing that now you can't even buy masks online. Do you have a full hazmat suit? I don't. I would like to get some now. Can we even purchase them now?
We can't get any masks.
Not now. So what are you guys doing? How are you preparing? Let us know in the comments, and thanks so much for being a part of our discussion. Thank you again for watching us, and as always, have a wonderful day, and God bless you and your families.
Can you say hi? Can you say bye? Hi. Say bye. Say bye. Bye. Say bye bye. Bye bye.